Oh, yeah. Just enjoying a little bit of sunset. It's getting dark right now, but I still like to be outside even before bed. Not just after I get out of bed in the morning, but I like to get sunset too and to get some fresh air and skylight, even though there's no sun, before it gets dark too. Granted, I'm not really going to be going to bed early tonight, but still a way to just keep myself fresh and reset my mind. I was just at the gym. We did a barbell workout. I didn't really go too heavy. I was actually experimenting a lot with my squat form. Like, I was experimenting between like front squats and back squats with the barbell. I was experimenting with heel elevation and no heel elevation, seeing whether I wanted to prioritize hips or knees, and I even got to a point where I was doing toe squats, where like I have the barbell and like as I'm squatting down, I get on my tippy toes, like without something under my heels to support it. Like, I just get on my tippy toes for balance, which actually those felt really good. And I know that, doing a squat that way, especially with a barbell, could be very risky because, if you lose balance, you're gonna have to ditch the bar. But I only did that way when I had the front squat, and it made it much easier to bail because I could just let my arms down. But I do gotta say, I think I have finally come to a conclusion. Not an end-all be-all conclusion, probably not even a permanent solution, but I really have found my niche of training, which I think what I like most, especially when it comes to legs, is stability. Now, whenever I'd squat with a plate under my heels, like for the heel elevation, it's supposed to load the knee more, which that's good for the knee, and if that's what you like doing, cool. And for some people who have mobility problems, cool. I have found more personally that, I like minimal heel elevation. Sometimes I like a little bit, not too much. Minimal heel elevation than none, because I like to get more of the workout in my hips and low back and my adductors, because personally I don't really have bad knees, and I still feel like I get a good workout in my knees even when I do it squats in a way that prioritize more my back and hips, which for me, I feel like my hips are more problematic, just because I know my hips aren't weak anymore either, and I don't have much hip problems, but I find that just working on my hips makes me feel better than working on my knees. Not that I ditch avoiding my knees, and again, any squats are still a knee workout, even if it's more hip and low back emphasized squat. But to counteract that, I found that when I was squatting on my toes, like doing the front squat, and like as I was squatting down, getting on my toes, I found that felt really good because of the ankle stability, and it forced my whole body to try to be stable while doing the squat, which I've been finding. I kind of knew this from the beginning, but I've been finding through like my own direct evidence on myself that like when I do stability work, that's when I feel best. And like doing those squats, oddly enough, when I was doing those toe squats, I actually felt even a better workout even in my hips, even though it's not as much of a hip workout as it is like a knee and an ankle workout. I found that even in my hips it felt better because I was actually getting more of a stretch in my adductors, and although it didn't load my low back as much, I felt my back activating even more, so that felt really nice. And as for deadlifts, for Romanian deadlifts, I did one leg Romanian deadlifts, which I've been finding recently too. I like doing one-legged Romanian deadlifts more than I like two-legged, just for the stability. And I also find that when I do one leg Romanian deadlifts, I really ease into my limit better than when I'm doing 2 leg Romanian deadlifts. I feel like I can kind of get ahead of myself sometimes. And sorry, I was just turning off the notification. I find that when I find that when I'm doing single leg Romanian deadlift, the stability I get and like more of the feel and like the upper hamstring and glute and low back I get versus doing 2 leg Romanian deadlifts, I feel way better. And it makes my back feel better, like it makes my hips feel more stable. I feel like I even get more of a stretch in my hamstrings, which is really nice. So I'm just, still experimenting with what exercises make me feel best. And again, it's all about the structural balance. For overhead press, which is the main barbell movement I do over bench press, that felt the same. I just fucking grabbed a bar and pressed it overhead, which, nothing to be said about that. I haven't done bench press in a while, and I know like that's like the main upper body movement. That's probably like the main movement that people talk about in the fitness industry, but I actually haven't done bench press in forever. Barbell bench press. I do incline dumbbell bench press all the time, just for the full range of motion, for more of the target of the upper chest, because it's a little more functional to train the upper chest than the mid and lower chest. And granted, again, one should train all aspects of the body, but I mean, honestly, when you're doing a bench press that targets the pecs, you're getting all of the pecs, even if you're prioritizing one. I thought I felt the sneeze coming on. Yeah. But yeah, barbells. I'm doing squats, either toe squats or like wide stance, no heels elevated squats, or slight heel elevated squats to get more hips. Those are probably the ways I'll do squats from now on. I'll probably alternate between the two, honestly. And I know that bodybuilders, way back in the day, before barbells were invented, they actually used to lift like bars with weights on the end. Not like barbells, but like they had like bars with like actual just like weights attached to the bars, and they would do squats with those on their knees to emphasize the quads. That was just like the standard squat back then. So, many people nowadays may think it sounds pretty dangerous to be squatting that deep and squatting on your toes. But honestly, as long as you're calculated and you feel good doing it, like for me, I had the safety bars on both sides of me, so I could ditch the bar if I needed. I only did it the front squat way. I went down to as far as felt good for me. So, as for single leg Romanian deadlifts, I was actually really surprised how much I was lifting per leg. Like I had 25 pound plates on each end, 45 bar, so that's 95 pounds, and I was actually repping that out with single leg. I only did about like 5 reps, but per leg, but it felt really good, and I felt like I got a good workout. So, and that's how that went. So I feel way better today than I have after any barbell workout I've ever done. So I'm kind of happy about that. It makes me wish I would have figured these things out earlier, but it's fine. And it sucks that I'm canceling my gym membership, and I could just like not cancel it, but I'm trying to save money. And that brings me on to what I'm going to talk about next. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. I keep hearing shit. I'm going to focus on y'all. It brings me on to my next topic. I am going to be... How do I word it? basically, I'm gonna lock in, and I'll keep you guys updated on this. I know I've said that in the past, but I'm gonna really keep you guys updated on this. I'm gonna be locking in with what I'm gonna be striving toward. Okay, so I'm gonna be trying to earn money and spending the least possible. Now, I know there's a million ways to make money online. YouTube being one of them, which is why I'm here trying to record for you guys. Just need to be consistent enough. Upload. I just need to keep it going. Don't stop. Upload at least once a day. And, upload maybe some reels or something. I gotta figure that out. But also, so here's how I'm gonna be doing my shit financially. I'm gonna be saving money. I'm gonna be working, earning money, spending only what I need to, right? Like my bills that are necessary, my truck gas that's necessary, and only food that's necessary. Like I'm just only spend what's necessary. I'm not gonna do no system or savings bullshit or anything. Just gonna be like no eating out, no going out and having fun or anything, unless there's a way to have fun for free. But I'm gonna be doing that. And hello, got a bug in my shirt. And I definitely acknowledge to myself that it's gonna get boring. It's gonna get boring to not go out, eat out, not go out and have fun in a way that's gonna cost money to have fun. This is where I need to lock in and just stay true to myself. Try to use as much of my time as possible for earning money, like through working my job. Upload once a day. Upload reels. I made a TikTok for line dancing, so I suppose I could just keep doing that. I'm also going to be focusing on my health, where with my current situation, my sleep, which sleep is talked about as being the number one thing. My sleep, I'm already pretty good about it. I get morning sunlight. I control my light environment at nighttime with my red light and blue light blocking glasses and not stimulating or stressing myself out. One thing I could better myself with is not eating close to bed, so that's going to be one thing I'm going to have to lock into. So I'm going to be focusing on my finances and my health, right? So finances, I'm just going to make as much money as possible through my current 9 to 5. I have DoorDash as well, so I'm going to try to do that as much as possible. Spending only on what's necessary. And in order to work toward what I want to do to make my living, of course, I'm going to be uploading to YouTube, uploading consistently on TikTok as well. I'm going to think about uploading reels. I haven't thought about that yet, but uploading to YouTube at least like once a day, I need to make that a thing. Of course, I want to work in a gym, so I'm going to be starting to try to just getting jobs that are closer to what I want to do. Start just pushing more toward what I want to do, like line dance instructing and working in gyms and personal training. I'm going to work toward those things. And as for my health, with what I'm capable of doing, I'm going to prioritize my sleep. And as for how I'm going to eat, I'm not going to be a carnivore because it's a little too much for me right now, especially if I'm going to have to lock in with other things. But I'm going to here's how I'm going to do this. No junk food, only whole foods, only whole single ingredient foods like animal products, like meats, dairy, eggs, and plant material is fine. As much as I'm not a fan of plant material or carbohydrates, but I'll allow only whole food sources of food. So I'm gonna just allow myself. I'm not gonna count calories or anything. I've never been about counting calories. I've never believed in it. But I'm gonna be just allowing myself to eat as much as I want of any whole foods, with just ensuring that I get my protein intake for the day before I get into anything else. So I'm gonna ensure that I eat as much, red meat's my main protein that I eat anyway. So it's like I'm gonna ensure that I just eat as much red meat as I can, getting all my protein intakes. Any animal sources of protein are gonna be my priority. Filling up on those before I get into anything else. And if I want anything else, like if I want fruit, for example, after that I'll just allow myself to eat as much fruit as I want. But it's a way of like allowing myself to eat as much as I want of whatever I want, of only whole foods, and making protein the priority. So that's the protocol for me. I'm not gonna view it as a protocol. I'm just gonna view it as a way of breaking bad habits with food, because I do still have bad habits with food. As for working out, I'm still gonna work out vigorously, like resistance training, about 3 times a week. But what I need to improve on is, even though I'm already good with working out 3 times a week and pushing myself, I know I need to get more steps in on a daily basis. Because the thing is, even if I work out for an hour a day and it's like a vigorous workout, I know that I'm still doing myself a disservice by not being active. So I'm going to take that initiative to be more active throughout the day. Like, just when I'm sitting inside and I've been sitting for a little bit, I'm just going to go out for some steps. This helps me get sunlight, and of course just walking in general is good for you, because it means you're being active, and helps reset your brain, helps reset you, helps get blood flow. It's a very passive way to get fit too. So, just gonna walk more. Maybe I could record my videos while walking too. Again, I gotta plan this all out, but I'm telling you guys straight up, I'm gonna keep you guys updated with my health and my financial goals and my goals in general and whatnot. And I'm gonna lock in. So yeah, that's how my day went. I went to the gym. I worked earlier. Went and had a lunch with my lady and her mom. And I went to the gym after. She's currently at work, which is the only reason I can't go to bed early. I just want to make sure that she gets off at midnight, and she's going to be downtown with all the partiers. So she's going to make sure that I can go over there, just be present, and be in a protective role, because that's what I feel like men are meant for, is the protection of loved ones. So yeah, it's my situation, what I'm aiming for. Save up, don't spend money, work toward my goals, work toward my financial goals, keep consistent with uploading, keep consistent with my health and eating well, and lifting, and being active regularly, and aiming for good sleep whenever my current situation allows that to happen. So yeah, I think that's all I got for now. I'm gonna end the video here and plan things out in my head. I'll see y'all later. Peace out.